fresh candidates keep emerging around the country to declare interest to run for the #1 job in the country. Another name has joined the contest, and he is media entrepreneur Dumebi Kachikwu, who officially declared his interest to contest for the office of president in the 2023 elections under the platform of African Development Congress. He has identified 20 areas where he would make a significant difference in the lives of Nigerians and the country if elected, which include promises to create equal opportunities for men and women and an enhanced welfare package for teachers, and initiate a technology-driven education and healthcare system to stop medical and education tourism abroad. The ADC presidential aspirant pledged to also eliminate corruption by ensuring that Nigerian workers are paid better salaries and build modern cities with better amenities, world-class health facilities, and accessible and affordable internet services across the country. Joining us on the show this morning to share with us how he hopes to achieve all these and other plans he has to make a difference if elected is Dumebi Kachikwu. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Tundu. Thanks for having me.
Well, good morning, Dumebi Kachikwu, and thank you for joining us. Very quickly, why do you want to be president of Nigeria? What's the motivation? And what do you have to offer us in those 20 areas that Tundu already referred to? And if you can be brief about, what those 20 areas are.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Bhatia. I lost most of what you said. What I get I think I get the gist of what you're saying. That it was cracking a bit. What prompted me to run for the presidency is very simple. Patriotism, heart and courage. At a time like this, where we have a systemic failure in all sectors of Nigeria, Nigeria has failed as a country, and I do realize as an individual that if I left the present crop of leaders to continue to lead me, they will lead me into the lagoon. So I decided that it's important for one to do something instead of complaining. Okay, it's no longer time for complaining. It's time for us to do something about political leadership, and that's why I decided to run for office. To do mention some of the planks of my aspiration, things I want to do. Talking about services, education, technology-driven services, improving the lives of Nigerians using technology, getting rid of corruption by paying people better, improving security, which happens to be a major area now where we've lost confidence in those manning our security agencies, though a lot of them is through no fault of theirs. So every sector you look at in Nigeria has completely failed, and it's important that men and women of goodwill should rise up at this point to do something about this. Next year, 2023, like Mr. Peters had said earlier on, is a defining moment for Nigerians. The failed administration of the Buhari, Osibanjo, and APC will not be on the ballot. APC will be on the ballot, but Nigerians as a whole will be on the ballot. You cannot talk of the failure of Nigeria without mentioning Nigerian people and how they allowed us to get to this point.
Right, thank you, Dumebi. So you have in your program what you'll be hoping to sponsor as an executive bill, the Nigerian Patriots Act. Tell us about that in a time where Nigeria needs unity more than ever.
Okay, the Nigerian Patriots Act simply states that we're all in this together. You will find that if you look at the failures, the systemic failures in Nigeria, that's the people at the lower rung of the ladder suffer this more. The poor people, or the masses as we call them, they suffer this more. So for 4 or 5 decades, we have parts of Nigeria that have no lights, no water. We have schools that are dilapidated, or places where they don't even have schools. Basic infrastructure, social services are not provided, and the poor people are the ones who bear the brunt of this. So the Patriot Act simply states that those who desire to be in public office, public servants, civil servants, will not have boreholes in their houses, generators in their houses. They will not travel abroad for medical trips. Their children will not school overseas. So if these people share equally in our pain and in our suffering, they will do more to make sure that this does not exist. Those that will also be affected by the Nigerian Patriots Act are directors in companies that their business derives from a license, such as mining, telecoms, banking, broadcasting, etc. If you're a director in any of those companies, this will also apply to you. Use the services available to the common man so that we will all together work to ensure that we improve all the services across the board for all Nigerians. That's the Nigerian Patriots Act in a nutshell.
Okay, I want to talk about some real issues. What would you do about out-of-school children that the number keeps increasing by the day? And I want to make special emphasis on Almajiri children. What would you do as regards that?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Please
out-of-school children, the number is well over 10 million out-of-school children in this country. And the Almajiri children, which also make up a bulk of the out-of-school children number. And the fact that children don't even get a chance to go to school. In Lagos alone, I hear there are close to 2 million out-of-school children. I was shell-shocked when I heard that. For a city that you think is quite urban and developed. So it's a pervasive problem across every center in Nigeria, out-of-school children.
It's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. It's a failure of leadership. This should not be something we are talking about in the year 2022. We have governors, we have first ladies who parade themselves knowing that we have out-of-school children. We've legislated against this. We turn a blind eye to these people. These people are now used as cannon fodder in our different wars, be it kidnapping, be it Boko Haram and all those things, And we all see these things. And we wait. It seems like Nigeria is waiting till the day these people wake up and see us as food, and then they all eat us and they destroy us. It's a crying shame. What will I do about this? I will enforce legislation. I'll ensure that schooling, tuition is free at primary level. No child should be at home. We'll make sure that parents who don't send their kids to school will face the wrath of the law. We cannot allow this because you know what? It's not the problem of the parents alone. It's the problem of society as a whole. These kids end up being degenerates who affect everyone in society. We can't continue to have this. For whatever reasons, be it religious, be it socio-political, whatever reason that we have out-of-school kids, we can't continue to allow this. We definitely need to do something about this. And for all the problems we have in Nigeria, you find that you definitely need a radical approach to these problems, an approach like the Nigerian Patriots Act, We need to do something about this, otherwise we will all perish.
Okay, Dumebi, I checked your Instagram page where you are described, or you describe yourself as a love advocate. But I see that many of your posts are full of hate speech against President Buhari. In one post, you even asked him to resign because he doesn't seem to know what he's doing. In another post, you described Nigeria as a company and that what we need to birth is a nation that will be called Nigeria. Well, is Nigeria a company? And do you think that President Buhari will listen to anybody asking him to resign for whatever reason? So if you were president, how will you create that nation called Nigeria? If it's presently a company, in your view.
Okay, so Mr. Bati, I heard the first part about my Instagram page and being a love advocate, and I heard the last part about, I think, Nigeria being a company. Is that what you said?
Yes. Are you saying President Buhari should resign?
Okay, if I heard you right, is Nigeria a company? We had the Royal Niger the Royal Niger Company, which the British transformed into present-day Nigeria. The geographical expression we call Nigeria today was a company, and that company was transformed into Nigeria. But the elements of the company, the Royal Niger Company, is still what operates today. So the directors of that company were there for the benefits of the company, to mind their business and get benefits, right? That's what's still happening today. Successive leadership, in Nigeria, that's all they are doing, is running Nigeria like a company, mining for personal benefit, okay, and not caring about the people. So if I heard you right about a company called Nigeria, that's what I mean. We need to move away from this. We need to redefine Nigeria that works for everyone. We need to have a common charter that speaks to the aspirations of all the component parts of Nigeria. We have a situation right now where the Southeast is imploding, being destroyed by people who are aggrieved, who feel that they have no sense of belonging, or who feel cheated by the nation state called Nigeria. We have some parts of the Southwest who are also saying we no longer want to be part of this country called Nigeria. We have Boko Haram and ISIS operating in the north. We have foreign terrorists who come in and they are being called headers. So we need to come together as a people and redefine our charter, our common purpose as a people, and agree as to who we are, what we want. So we don't all continue like this. So it's not every man to himself and God for us all. We need to build a nation that works for everyone.
Right, so let's talk about the economy. I'll start with the topic we discussed earlier on this morning on this show, the 15% levy imposed on second-hand cars, Tokumbo cars, which you have been vocal in opposition of, saying that it's to impoverish the middle class. So what policies would you have to really assist and regrow our vastly diminished middle class? Let's start there.
Okay, that's a good question, Tudun. We do realize that the services industry contributes 54% of GDP. That's where most of the middle class in Nigeria resides, and that's where opportunities for youths abound. We need to invest heavily in that sector. That sector comprises of the financial sector, engineering, tourism, Nollywood, and what have you. We need to invest heavily in that sector. We need to stop building bridges and roads that go nowhere and start building up broadband infrastructure across the country. We need to make broadband a service that is a fundamental human right for all Nigerians. We cannot have a situation where Nigerian broadband is about the most expensive in the world. If most people had broadband in the villages, people can, in the comfort of their home, start selling architectural service, engineering service, what have you, to people all over the world. We need to take Nollywood, after decades of Nollywood or what the fame that Nollywood has brought to Nigeria, we still don't have a city that can say this is Nollywood, the way we have Hollywood. What all the promises government has made in investing in this sector, we keep on hearing billions, but we don't see anything really happening there. We need to expand and build on the infrastructure for this. Look at tourism. Look at the hundreds of kilometers of beachfront we have in Nigeria. What's happening there? You keep on having palm wine joints and people going there for beach parties over the weekends. But we fly to Miami. We fly to Barbados. We fly to Bahamas. We go to Dubai to use man-made beaches. But we have hundreds of kilometers of beaches that will create employment for our youths. We do nothing about this. We enjoy using services outside of Nigeria, services that can easily create here and also create employment for our youths. So this is what we really need to do now. We need to start investing in Nigerians. We need to have technology parks. I'm happy. I saw yesterday the ADB president Adesina saying that they have about $600 million for agro-processing parks in about 6 states. But that's too small. You need to have a minimum of 3 agro-processing parks in each state to cater for the agricultural sector. We need to move away from farming to agribusiness. We need to start processing so we can deal with issue of shelf life of our.
Okay, Dumebi. So sorry because of we're pressed for time. But you talked about not having a film village. I think you should check out the new one just created somewhere in Oyo State by Kunle Afolayan. He just built a new film village where he shot, his last movie out of. But real quickly, what would you do about the debts, increasing debt profile in Nigeria? What would you do? How would you help with that debt, to reduce the number?
That's very simple. We need to renegotiate our debts. We need to pay down on debts that are legitimately owed. We need to once we start growing the middle class, Sorry?
We're paying down on it, and that's why we're spending about 96% of our revenue to repay, and people are complaining as regards that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. We need to renegotiate all debts. We need a moratorium on debts at this point. We don't need to be paying any debts in the next 5 to 7 years. There's a global recession, there's a pandemic, and there's also inflation. So this is not the time to be paying debts. We need every money at this point to start growing our infrastructure so we can start building up the middle class. So this is not the time to pay debts. We need to renegotiate every single debt with all creditors, all lenders at this point to make sure we are not paying anything.
Well,
but okay,
except that
those debts are local.
Those developed countries may not necessarily be willing to engage in debt cancellation. But we'd like to thank you very much for joining us, Dumebi Kachikwu, and we wish you well with your presidential ambition. As we all look forward to the end of May and the first week of June, when the final list, as it were, of presidential candidates will emerge. Thank you very much indeed.